Hi everyone. It's been a long time, huh? I made a lot of posts in my community tab while I was away, so if you are totally out the loop, you should probably check that. Long story short, YouTube finally accepted me to the partner program, so I'm going to try my best to start posting again. It probably won't be as frequent as it used to be, but I will try my best to keep making content for you guys. The Discord server still exists and in my opinion is a lot of fun. So come join us if you'd like to chat with me and everyone else. The link will be in the description. I didn't want this intro to be too long, so, without further ado, I hope you enjoy. It's early summer and one morning the students of UA find themselves gathered out front of the school, stood in groups of their respective classes, waiting to listen to their principal Nizu. Good morning students, I know this is an unusual situation but we have some news for you all. It's hot out here. Would you like to hold my hand? Do not touch me. Please be quiet for 5 minutes, and listen to Principal Nizu. Ahem, your parents have already been notified, but the school as well as your dorms are about to undergo some renovations that will take a month to complete. Therefore, you all will be spending a month at home. The entire crowd of students erupted into gasps and cheers and mutters of excitement, until the teachers calmed them down once more. Now of course you will be given personalized assignments and training goals to achieve during your month away. We can't have you completely abandoning your hero studies, but I do hope you all enjoy a well-deserved break. You are dismissed. Don't let this month fool you 1A. I will come back stronger than you all. Ha 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 ha. Sorry again about him. Enjoy the break, guys. All the students slowly started filing out of the school grounds, heading off in groups or alone toward their homes. You guys, we totally have to spend this entire month absolutely dominating the ranks in League. We can't get too ahead of ourselves, dude. Who knows what these assignments they're setting for us are gonna be. He's right. We'll totally make time for games though, right Bakugo? Who cares? I'm more worried about spending a whole month under that hag's roof again. Come on man, your mom is not that bad. She's cool. You know nothing, Dun's face. Huff. Meanwhile, Deku-kun, how come you look so down? Oh, I'm not really, it's just, my mom has had this trip planned for months, and of course it's just 2 weeks. Right in the middle of our month break, I'm just not sure where I'll end up staying. I would totally offer my place, but even I understand that might be uncomfortable, since we are all a little uncomfortable around each other right now. No, I couldn't barge in on you guys while you're just starting to figure everything out. I'm sure my parents would love to have you stay with us. Really? I mean that would be super fun. And I already know we study great together, so the assignments wouldn't be a problem. I'm sorry, you should speak to your parents first, but honestly I feel like my mom might have already made plans for me as soon as the school told her about the break. Either way, you will still get to spend some time with her at least. Yeah, it'll be nice. Let's make sure to all meet up at some point too. The group split up as they neared their own houses, and before long Deku was slipping off his shoes and feeling the warmth of home fill his chest. Izuku, you're home? It's been too long. Mom, it's only been a couple months since I last came back to visit. Exactly, much too long? Oh honey, I'm so sorry my trip lined up with this break. At least we get a week before I leave? Yeah, it's not great but I'm glad we'll get to spend some time together. Oh also, one of my friends already offered for me to stay around his place while you're away. He said he would talk to his parents about it, so I don't know for certain yet, but... Deku trailed off as he noticed his mother looking more and more nervous as he spoke. What's the matter? Oh well, you see, as soon as that lovely homeroom teacher of yours explained what was happening, my mind went into overdrive, you know, worrying about how you would have nowhere to stay while I was gone. So Deku sighed. He already half expected for his mom to have made the plans for him, but if his worst case scenario was true then, where have you planned already? Well, you know, I just felt more comfortable knowing you would be staying with someone who has known you basically your entire life. It just so happens that Mitsuki and I were talking before we got the messages, so it worked out perfectly. She said she would love to have you over there. You know how much she adores you? Inko was trying her best to put a positive spin on the situation, but was feeling guiltier the longer she watched her son's face going pale with worry. Look, if you really don't want to stay with them then I can just call her and let her know. You can't do that? You know how offended she would get if you told her I didn't want to stay with them. I can't do that to her, she's always been so nice to me. Deku buried his face in his hands and let out a pitiful whine. I just feel so bad, I'm going to unintentionally ruin Kacchan's break. Sobbing. Oh honey, I thought you two would be getting along better again by now. Is he really still not over his gruff teenager phase? Deku laughed a little at that description. I'm not sure you could really call it a phase, Mom. It's just who he is, but I don't mind. It's not like he has to change or anything. He just doesn't like my company. Well, anyone's really. I'm sorry for organizing it before speaking to you about it. It really was just because Mitsuki and I were already talking about my trip. She was right there and offering. I'm sorry for assuming you would be okay with it. Oh Mom, don't apologize, it's okay. Really, I'm just glad to spend some time at home and then have a place to stay. I'll just message Kacchan now to see if he's actually okay with this though. In private chat with Kacchan. Hey did your mom tell you about me staying over? Yeah, but I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. You'll just sleep on my floor and stay out of my way. Of course. Sorry Kacchan. I tried to make plans to stay elsewhere but my mom already spoke to yours and well you know what they're like. Deku watched as Bakugo began typing, then abruptly stopped, and the chat was quiet for a minute or so, before he was typing again. You don't have to apologize, it's not your fault, my mom loves you so much. Deku blushed and stared at the message, Bakugo telling him he wasn't in the wrong? It wasn't his fault? That's new. Surely she can't think that highly of me. You'll see when you get here. I gotta go eat, bye. Oh, sure. Enjoy your food, see you in about a week? He got no reply and closed the chat with a heavy sigh. He was at least a little relieved to know Kacchan wasn't going to absolutely hate him being there. Maybe it won't be so bad. A few days later. Wow, I still can't believe you already got all your assignments done? Well, I've still gotta hit my training quota every day but the paper they asked me to write wasn't so bad. I finished mine too. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the break. Get a new hobby, like ice sculpting. Imagine having time for hobbies, dying inside. If you need help with your assignment we can all give some advice. You still have like 3.5 weeks, you'll get it done. Yeah, you're right. Sorry I'm being melodramatic. If anyone should be worried about this break it's you, Deku-kun. Only a few days until you go to BAKUGO'S, right? Yeah, I mean we haven't talked much but when I first brought it up he didn't actually seem too annoyed about it. I'm just hoping I can stay out of his way and the 2 weeks will go by fast. We'll make sure to check up on you, Deku-chan. Thanks you guys, but really I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, it's almost 5. I've gotta head home. Mom and I have dinner plans. Tell Inko we said hi. Tell Bakugo I said hi when you see him. The day of Inko's trip. Deku wiped his clammy palms on his jeans, taking a deep breath as blonde spiky hair emerged from the door's frosted window. Izuku? Come on in, sweetie, it's so lovely to see you. She immediately pulled Deku into her house and straight into a hug, ruffling his hair with a laugh. When she let him go, Deku frantically began bowing his head and thanking her profusely for letting him stay. I'm really grateful to be allowed to stay in your home. I will help out with whatever you ask. Thank you very much for letting me stay. Oh hon, look at you being all respectful. Katsuki? Why can't you be more like Izuku? Shut up, old hag, I do everything you ask all the time. Mitsuki glared up the stairs for a moment longer before immediately turning to Deku with a gleaming smile. Anyways, come in. Your shoes and coat can go over here and... Midoriya, welcome. Are you hungry? Masaru emerged from the kitchen with a slightly grubby apron and a warm smile. I am. I'm doing a lot of training lately so it really works up an appetite. That's great. Katsuki told us that katsudon was your favorite and we just had to make it for your first night with us. Kacchan said that? Kacchan knows my favorite meal? He even told his parents. Does he actually want me to have a nice time here? That's really sweet. Suddenly they heard stomping down the steps as Bakugo made his way into the room, annoyed already. Why are you making stuff up? That's not how it went at all. You wouldn't stop bothering me all day about what his favorite meal was, so I told you to make you leave me alone? Huff. I'm still surprised you even knew what my favorite was. Bakugo turned to Deku with wide eyes and a slight pink hue to his cheeks, before scoffing and turning away. I remember everyone's favorite because food is important to me, that's all. Stop being mean to Izuku, go show him where he can put his stuff. Bakugo grumbled under his breath before turning to stump up the stairs. Deku stared after him, blinking in confusion until Mitsuki nudged his shoulder gently. That means follow him, sweetie. Oh, okay, thanks again. Would you like me to come back down and help set things up for the meal after? No, of course not. I'll call you boys down when it's ready. Oh, and Han, don't let him boss you around too much, okay? Deku bowed his head one last time before gripping his luggage and heading upstairs. I haven't been inside this house in so many years. I still remember where Kacchan's room is though. Good thing too, because he definitely didn't wait to show me. He shuffled through BAKUGO'S door before stopping to awkwardly scan the room. Just keep your stuff out the way, don't block my important stuff, and keep yourself tidy. Don't make my room a mess. Of course. Is here okay? He set his small suitcase down beside BAKUGO'S laundry basket. The blonde looked over and hummed in approval, making Deku let out a small sigh of relief. He continued to stay quiet as he began unpacking some things, finding a spot to plug in his phone charger and putting his toothbrush in the shared bathroom. When he headed back into BAKUGO'S room, he was caught off guard with a sudden question. What's wrong? Shook. Well, I dunno, you're just being weirdly quiet. It's not what I was expecting. You told me to stay out of your way, so I just thought you wouldn't want to talk. BAKUGO stared up at Deku's awkward smile and felt himself getting flustered. I did tell him that. It's a good thing he's not talking or being annoying. Why would I even ask? I don't want to talk. So, good. Humph. I know, Kacchan, that's okay. Deku continued sorting through some of his things and checked his phone as BAKUGO just sat uncomfortably and had an internal war with himself about how he was acting. Hey, I'm sorry. Katsuki? Izuku? Food is ready. Okay. Deku stood frozen in shock from the sudden outburst of yelling. He would really have to get used to that. But as his mind wrapped around the situation, he suddenly realized it almost seemed like BAKUGO was about to say sorry. What were you saying, Kacchan? Oh, nothing. We gotta go or she'll throw a fit. BAKUGO brushed it off and headed downstairs with Deku following behind, both sitting in the empty seats round the table, beside each other. I hope it's good. I'm sure it is. Thank you so much for cooking my favorite. You really didn't have to. You're such a kiss-ass. He grumbled before taking a mouthful of the food and pausing in shock, avoiding eye contact and mumbling. It's really good, thanks Dad. That's the spirit? Eat up, Izuku. They all enjoyed the meal. Mitsuki asked Deku some questions here and there, but it all felt comfortable, maybe because BAKUGO was staying completely silent. You know, there are some sites I found online from people documenting all sorts of things you students have been up to. I don't know where they're getting their information, but it seems like you guys get up to so much, especially when we train with the pro heroes. I'd love to work with Best Jeanist one day like Kacchan has. Oh, Katsuki adores him. No, he was insufferable. He totally messed up my hair, and has awful fashion sense, huff. Oh come on, you're always keeping up with everything he does these days. I know my own son well enough to know which heroes he looks up to. BAKUGO just scoffed and continued eating, allowing Mitsuki to keep her smug grin as she kept talking to Deku. Do you enjoy school, Izuku? Of course I do. Kacchan calls me a nerd and honestly he's not wrong. I love learning new things and studying. Plus training with everyone is always super fun. What about Katsuki? Do you two ever train together? How close are you these days? You really don't have to answer that. I'm just asking a simple question. You used to be so cute when you were tiny, you know, the bestest of friends. I wouldn't say that. Katsuki, be quiet or I'll take your PC away for a week. They glared across the table at one another for a moment before BAKUGO quickly shoveled the last of his katsudon into his mouth and stood from the table. If you're going to ask embarrassing questions, at least do it while I'm not here, huff. He took his bowl to the kitchen before they heard him stomping up the stairs, and Mitsuki turned back to Deku apologetically. He really is a handful. I'm sorry if he still causes you problems like in middle school. Oh no, it's not like that at all. We do struggle sometimes, but I really admire Kacchan. I understand his personality can be a bit difficult sometimes, but I don't mind it really. It's not like I would ever want him to change who he is. Deku felt very shy and flustered talking about BAKUGO so openly to his parents, but Mitsuki was listening with her full attention, clearly very interested in everything Deku had to say. I mean, Kacchan even apologized for everything last term. When he actually said sorry for everything that's happened between us, it really meant a lot to me. I definitely consider Kacchan one of my closest friends, but I'm totally okay that he doesn't see it that way. You're such a sweetheart, Izuku. Thank you for understanding my son so well. I know I'm not always the best mom, but I tried to raise him right, so it's so relieving to hear that you, and I hope your other classmates, really do care about him. Of course we all do. If you asked anyone in Class 1A, I can promise you they would all have good things to say about Kacchan. He's so smart and strong, his strategies blow my mind sometimes, and he's really getting better and better at teamwork. He does say he considers us all his rivals, but I'm sure he cares about us too. Well, I guess I can't be sure. Oh god, I'm sorry, I totally just started ranting about Kacchan out of nowhere. Now I'm glad he went upstairs. Don't feel embarrassed? I think it's so wonderful how highly you think of my Katsuki. I wish that boy would put his head on properly and realize how great you are, Izuku. I'm sorry if he's insufferable while you're staying here. Please try not to let him get to you. Oh, I'll be fine, don't worry. Thanks again for inviting me to stay. Would you like me to help with the washing up? You're our guest. You don't have to worry about any household chores. Besides, I cooked, so my lovely wife washes up. We trade. Sometimes Katsuki cooks for us all. It's rare, but he's somehow a better cook than either of us. So we like those days a lot. Anyways, you can head on upstairs. We've got everything down here. Deku bowed his head and thanked them once again, before heading back up to BAKUGO'S room, suddenly feeling overly nervous at how quiet it seemed to be. He was surprised when he entered the room to see Bakugo sat at the edge of his bed, glaring at the floor, seemingly oblivious to Deku's presence. Kacchan? Are you okay? I'm sorry for being so, like this, even after I apologized and everything already. He didn't look up at Deku, making the poor boy feel frozen in place at the serious tone in his voice. That's okay, Kacchan. I'm really trying to be okay with this whole thing, but in the last month I've gone from never feeling comfortable around you because of our past, then coming to terms with it and realizing I needed to apologize for my shit, and now suddenly you're just in my house for 2 whole weeks. Fuck, I don't even know, it's just a lot for me to figure out. I get it, Kacchan. I didn't realize you were worried about acting the wrong way. I already told you you didn't have to change anything. I'm not changing anything on purpose to cater to you or whatever. I just wanna stop feeling like this whenever you're around. Feeling like what? Bakugo finally looked up at him and Deku panicked, feeling his eyes widen and muscles go tense. Well, I don't know. Being around most people makes me uncomfortable. I think you just freaked me out cause you know me so well. It's weird that you can predict how I'll react when you do shit. Like when you were being super quiet on purpose? That's weird. Just cause you know I'll get annoyed, let me get annoyed on my own terms. Huff. Deku couldn't help but laugh at the ridiculousness of what Bakugo was saying. However, his tiny bout of giggles only made the blonde boy stand up from his bed abruptly. Huh? What's so funny? Wait, I'm sorry, Kacchan. It's just funny that you're saying you'd rather me be annoying instead of trying not to bother you. That's not what I said, stupid nerd. Wait. Bakugo suddenly paused and frowned at the ceiling in thought, and Deku watched as his cheeks blushed red. Humph, see, that's your fault. You make me say dumb shit. Why do I yell stupid shit when you're around? Even Dun's face doesn't get me like this. What are you? Deku had taken a step toward him, reaching a hand out, but froze as Bakugo blinked and stepped back in panic. I was just, you have fluff on your shoulder. They both stood there frozen a couple steps apart, Deku wondering why it seemed like Bakugo was afraid of him, and Bakugo wondering why his heart was racing. You're freaking me out. I'm sorry, what would you like me to do so I can stop scaring you? Absolutely baffled. I'm not scared of you, you're just being weird. I'll just get the futon out. Where is it? I'll get it, just go over there. Huff. He pointed to the far corner of his room and Deku looked over in confusion, before turning back to him with a tilt of his head. I just want you to get out the way, dumb Izuku. He practically growled as he stormed past Deku, brushing into his shoulder as the boy still hadn't moved. If I'd known he would get this uncomfortable, I would have just dealt with Mitsuki being a little upset. He should have just told me and I would have cancelled being here. Why is he so uncomfortable? He shuffled over to the corner of the room and began looking at the trinkets Bakugo had set up on his shelves. Some of these are the same as when we were kids. He still has his All Might figure on display. Oh, the sports festival medal. He even has a photo of him and his friends. I'm glad he at least gets along well with Kirishima, Kaminari and Shiro. What are you doing? I'm just looking. I didn't touch anything, I promise. He put his hands up in defense and Bakugo scanned the shelves behind him before humming and pulling the futon into the room, setting it up on the floor beside where Deku had plugged in his charger. Thanks, Kacchan. It's fine. The guys wanted me to get online. To play. Why am I talking to you like I'm asking if it's okay? This is my room. Oh, that sounds fun. Just pretend I'm not even here. Deku sat on his futon and got his phone out, trying to find something to pass the time until he would want to sleep, and trying his best to completely ignore Bakugo as he sat at his desk to set up his PC. God, you're all so loud already. Oi, shitty hair, get your dog to shut up. Oh, fuck you. No, yeah. He is here. Oh. Deku really was trying to mind his own business, but it was pretty clear they were talking about him. After a moment of silence, Bakugo turned in his chair and pushed his headset off to sit round his neck, making Deku look up expectantly. The guy said hi. Oh, well, hi back. He put the headset back on and immediately winced at the chaos. He said hi back. Huh, you? No, I'm not. Why? You're all so annoying. He sighed dramatically and pulled the headset completely off his head, catching Deku off guard as he held it out toward him. They want to talk to you. He's so done. Is that okay? Would I be handing you the headset if it wasn't? I guess not. Deku stood up and took the headset, putting it on and being immediately overwhelmed by the amount they were all yelling and talking over each other. Bakugo? Did you give it to him? Diia Kawo, are you Theaeria? Hi guys. OMG, he actually gave you the mic? Dude, he never listens to us. Hi Midoriya. Guys, quiet down a little. Remember, he's not used to this. Sorry Midoriya. Oh, it's okay. Have you guys had a good break so far? It's been so lonely. We only met up like once and Bakugo has hardly played any games with us. Oh, and I can't do my assignments, they're so difficult. Sobbing. You barely even tried yet. Kami, come on, don't just complain to Midoriya immediately. How's your break been? It's been good. I got my assignments done really quick cause I knew I'd be coming to stay here and didn't want to have to do my nerd work in front of Kacchan. Probably a good idea. He would have just bugged you otherwise. No, I feel like I would have been a bother to Kacchan, not the other way round. Can you guys stop talking about me when I can only hear half the conversation? Salty boy. Deku, tell him we said something really nice. Panicking. Pfft, ahem. Yes, Kaminari-kun. I totally agree. Kacchan is super smart and cool. Huh? What are you all saying? Give me that back. Bakugo's cheeks were red again as he snatched the headset off of Deku and put it back on. You can go sit back down? Talking about me, humph. He's so flustered. Deku laughed a little but went to go sit back on his futon, feeling warm inside after talking to some friends, and getting to see Bakugo all shy. Shut up. What did you actually say about me? Duh. Of course I know Izuku made that up. What do you mean? I guess. No, he didn't mean it, he's just making a joke. Huh, Kacchan? Wait, shut up a second, Deku. Izuku is talking to me? Ahem, what? I wasn't joking, I just wanted you to know. Huh? Of course I think you're super smart and cool. I have a whole notebook about all the awesome things about you, Kacchan. You filled an entire one of your nerd books with me? Well, it helps that I've known you basically my whole life because there's just so much stuff to document. It would probably make you mad to realize that most of my hero work all comes from being inspired by the new things you accomplish? Bakugo continued to stare in silence, until Deku heard a commotion through the headset and his face suddenly went bright red, his eyes white with rage. Shut up. You're all so dumb. That's not. No. Stop it. I'm turning this off. You're making it weird. Play your dumb game without me. He tugged the headset off and shut down his PC, turning and catching eye contact with Deku, who looked extremely concerned. What happened? Nothing? They're just stupid. Your books are stupid too. A whole book about me? Why? I'm sorry. Does that make you uncomfortable as well? I just like making notes about all the people who I admire. Poor Deku. Why do you admire me? I was always awful to you. Still kinda am. Do you really want me to explain that, or will you just get more uncomfortable? I'm not uncomfortable. I'm just confused, I guess. Boys, it's getting late. Katsuki, quiet down the yelling. I am quiet. I brought all my books with me. You can look at your one if you'd like. What? No, I don't want to see that. It is getting late anyway. I'm gonna head to bed. Oh, okay. I'll use the bathroom after you. They got ready for bed in an awkward silence, Bakugo avoiding Deku as much as possible and basically falling asleep the second his head hit the pillow. When Deku finally laid on his futon, he couldn't stop his mind racing around so many different thoughts about what had happened today. What on earth could they have said to freak him out that much? Was it about my notes? Maybe they were just making fun of him. I should ask one of them. Kami would tell me, I'm sure. I'll message him tomorrow. After a good night's sleep. Wha? Huh? Oh, dude, why did you yell like that? Sorry, your alarm isn't like mine, it made me jump. Ugh, waking up in fear is going to ruin my whole day. I'm sorry, Kacchan. Stop apologizing all the time. God, you even have to upstage my damn apology. Humph. What? I could never? That was like the most meaningful thing that's ever happened to me? Maybe it's a tie with when All Might gave me one for all. Cha, me apologizing is not as big a deal as you getting a damn quirk, dumbass. But it is, Kacchan. To me it is. This is too much for 10 seconds after I've woken up. He huffed and got out of bed, yawning and stretching his arms above his head, his shirt lifting above his belly button. Deku's eyes scanned over him, almost in a trance, until he dropped his arms and shuffled out to the bathroom. The moment he was gone, Deku slapped his hands to his cheeks in shock, feeling how hot his skin was. Why did I stare at Kacchan like that? Why is my heart racing? Do I find Kacchan attractive? Oh God. A few moments later, Bakugo re-entered the room and raised a questioning eyebrow at how red and panicked Deku was. What's up with you? Nothing. Are you done in the bathroom? I'm just gonna. He stood up and quickly brushed past him to the bathroom, immediately running the cold water to splash his face and then look at his reflection. You're crazy? Insanely stupid? Stop that? You're going to be here for 2 whole weeks? So what if Kacchan has nice toned muscles and smooth skin, and a really cute morning face? No, stop that. He slapped his cheeks again and took a deep breath, scrunching his eyes shut and shaking his head. Not happening. Those thoughts do not exist. Kacchan is just Kacchan. When he finally plucked up the courage to leave the bathroom, he let out an actual inhuman-sounding squeak as he bumped straight into a now shirtless Bakugo. Dude, do you walk around with your eyes closed or something? Deku.exe is not responding. I need to shower. Are you okay? Deku buried his face in his hands and nodded rapidly, barely peeking through his fingers just so he could squeeze past the shirtless boy and back into his bedroom. We share changing rooms. We share the dorm baths. Why does it all feel so different just because I'm at his house? Maybe it's because I haven't seen him like that since he apologized for everything. That really did mean a lot to me, and kind of made me think of him a little differently. I need to stop thinking about this. Oh, I said I would message Kami today about last night. In private chat with Kaminari. Hey Kami, I couldn't help wondering what happened last night that made Kacchan shut everything off so quickly. He brushed it off and wouldn't explain it to me, but I got the feeling it was something to do with my notebooks and I feel bad. Oops, we were all just teasing him about you. We kind of joke about you guys quite a lot. About me and Kacchan? What sort of jokes? Well, you know, it's super cute that you would fill a whole notebook just about Bakugo. You guys are so fun to watch, how he acts like he hates you and you're just so cute wanting to get closer to him. Huh? Kami, what are you even talking about? Hey, come on, we're mainly just joking, but also, do you actually like him like that? I won't tell anyone, I swear. Why would you even think that? Because of the notebook? I write notebooks about so many heroes I look up to. Well, honestly, I just always thought you two would be cute together. After Bakugo told us about your past, and dude, oh my god, he always used to talk about how bad he felt and everything. How bad he felt about what? Before he had the whole huge apology thing, he would always come to us when he felt like an asshole after yelling at you. He always asked us for help, but to be honest, we kinda suck at giving advice. But that's probably why it took him so long to actually figure out what to say and stuff, to give you that super meaningful apology. OMG, I'm so sorry if you think it's weird, but that moment just made me ship you even harder. Sobbing. Ship us? What the heck? I can't help it. Dude, I'm always teasing him about you these days. He gets so red every time. God, you would be so cute together. Kami is one of us. I really don't see it at all. Kacchan could never be like that with anyone, let alone me. Not that I would want to either. Oh come on dude, you're the only person Bakugo has always cared about. He knows you just as well as you know him even without the nerd books. Besides, you just look cute together. You're so small and cute and bubbly while he's super grouchy and acts all big and strong. Dude, I have these thoughts about how if you did ever date, you would be the only person that could bring out Bakugo's soft side and he would secretly be all cuddly and shit with you. Someone help him. Oh my god Kami, you're crazy? Even if Bakugo will never admit it, he totally does have a huge soft spot for you, okay? I'm not the crazy one, Everyone else is for acting like they don't see it. Oh, but these days even Kiri and Siro agree with me sometimes. You guys are insane. I don't even know what to say anymore. I've gotta go get dressed and stuff anyways. He is so frazzled. Wait, before you go, I'll give you 3,000 yen, about $20, if you can get Bakugo to hug you by the time you leave. Look, I just really wanna see you be cute together, please, I'm begging. Same Kami. Kami, no? Kacchan hates people touching him anyway. That's never going to happen, nor would I take your money if it somehow did. I really should go though. I guess thank you for explaining last night. And I won't lie, I'm a tiny bit scared of you now. Sorry? Good luck with the rest of your stay. Don't hesitate to keep me updated on relationship developments. Deku closed the chat with a sigh, rubbing his head as if to try and rub away the confusion and stress building up from all the wild thoughts spiraling through his mind. This whole time, Kaminari, and even some of the others, have been teasing Kacchan about us being cute together. I mean, I have always admired Kacchan. Have I been crushing on him this whole time? Oh god, does everyone think I'm obsessed with him or something? Whoa, why do you look like someone just stole your favorite All Might toy? Dying. Oh, do I? Ahem, I dunno, I was just thinking about, holy shit. He completely lost his train of thought as he subconsciously let his eyes actually focus on the boy before him. Watching the droplets of water fall from the tips of BAKUGO'S blonde hair, slowly trailing from his shoulders down his chest, sliding across the dips and curves of his abs and lower stomach before disappearing into the loosely hung towel around his waist. Deku gulped thickly, feeling hot as his blood rushed straight to his face and his heartbeat was thumping practically inside his eardrums. Why are you looking at me like that? Are you okay, Izuku? Slight hemophobia warning, nosebleed. And suddenly Deku's nose was bleeding. Sorry, oh god. He immediately freaked out, tilting his head back and pinching his nose, until Bakugo rushed forward and held his chin, tilting his head back down again. Are you stupid? Don't tilt your head back like that, it's dangerous. But that's how everyone does it in the movies. Dumbass, the blood will just go back into your throat. But now it'll just drip on your floor. Kacchan, look. Sobbing. I don't care about the stupid floor. He huffed and pulled Deku back toward the bathroom, which was still steamy from his shower. The humidity in the room was not helping Deku's mind focus, and to top it all off, Bakugo had got some tissues and begun attempting to sap up the blood as he just stood there dumbfounded. Lean over the sink and hold those tissues in place. I'll be right back. Just because I don't care about the floor doesn't mean my mom won't get mad at me if I don't clean it before it's too late. Deku hummed and did as he was told, taking a deep breath over the sink and continuing to dab at his nose before bringing a hand up to wipe at the foggy mirror to check if the bleeding was stopping. It was definitely slowing down, so Deku took the time to clean himself up and try to calm his heartbeat down. I cannot believe I just got so flustered by Kacchan that I got a nosebleed. I didn't even think that was real. I thought that was just a dumb anime cliché. Help him. Hey, did it stop yet? I think so. Bakugo re-entered the bathroom wearing a pair of joggers now, but still no shirt. And Deku was honestly worried his stupid nose would start bleeding again, so he did his best to keep his eyes away. Bakugo looked him over with a frown before sighing heavily. It's probably because you overworked yourself, rushing to get all your assignments done in a week while still training, probably more than they asked you to every day. I'm guessing you didn't sleep well last night. That must have pushed your body past the limit. Deku was about to make a rebuttal, because he totally did sleep perfectly fine, but if he admitted that, then Bakugo would question how he got a nosebleed after a perfect full night's rest. I guess I struggled a little, but it was probably just because it's the first night here, you know? I'm just not used to it, that's all. I'm sure I'll be fine tonight. Is the futon uncomfortable? No, it's totally fine. Well, if you say so. But if you don't sleep well again tonight, then we'll think of something else, like the couch or something. Thank you for helping me, Kacchan. Deku managed to look him in the eyes and muster a small smile in appreciation, feeling his heart swell in his chest as Bakugo's cheeks went pink and he looked away. It's nothing, of course I'd be worried. You just randomly started bleeding out of nowhere, and, see, you're doing it again. Look, I'm pretty self-conscious of my scars, so I'll just go put a shirt on. Deku didn't even realize he had let his eyes wander lower again until Bakugo's words snapped him out of it and he reached forward to grab his wrist to stop him from leaving. Bakugo turned to instinctively yell but froze when he locked eyes with Deku's concerned frown. Why don't you like your scars? Those scars, they're my fault. It's all my fault you got hurt like that and now they've made you want to hide yourself? I'm sorry Kacchan. Why did you even push me out of the way to begin with? Deku was almost in tears as he yelled. After everything that happened afterwards, they still had never really talked about the moment Bakugo risked his life for Deku. The blonde boy looked to the floor with a sigh, gently prying Deku's hand off of his wrist. I don't know why. You must know, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you put yourself in so much danger like that for me? Why do you always save me, huh? Why did your quirkless dumbass start clawing at the sludge villain while I was suffocating? Why did you insist on going to the League of Villains hideout to save me even after me and the pros told you not to come? You're always putting yourself in danger for everyone, but it's like you lose all rational thought when I'm the one in danger. I've explained it to you before, my body just moved on its own. Oh, sigh, of course I don't regret what I did, but I do feel self-conscious about the scars, so I'd rather you didn't keep staring at them. Huh? Oh god Kacchan, I'm sorry? I didn't mean to. I wasn't even looking at the scars. Don't lie to me, I literally saw you at least 3 times just this morning. I was looking there but I wasn't even paying attention to the scars because they don't take anything away from how. Deku stopped himself in panic and slapped a hand to his mouth, finally comprehending what he was about to admit to Bakugo just to cover himself for not looking at his scars. Bakugo just crossed his arms and raised an eyebrow, prompting for Deku to continue. Well I admire you a lot Kacchan, you know that. And if you didn't hate my nerd books so much I would have already gotten your one out to fill a double-page spread with sketches and information about your muscles and how much stronger and fitter you've gotten since the last time I sketched them and… Wait, last time? Shook. Well, I have full body sketches of everyone but now I've realized I need to update yours because, well, you've grown a lot and I couldn't help but notice. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I danced with you today. And I'm never gonna dance again. You to me have got no rhythm. Do you promise you're not just lying and trying to flatter me after staring at my ugly scars? They're not ugly Kacchan. Those scars signify how incredible of a hero you are, especially to me, how selfless you were in that moment. Those scars literally saved my life. Of course they're the opposite of ugly to me. Bakugo was clearly getting overwhelmed by all the honest mushy appreciation, but instead of reciprocating it of course he went to deflection out of shyness. Alright, stop being sappy, they're just scars. Can I go put a shirt on now? Cute giggles. Of course Kacchan. Oh, and I'm sorry for grabbing you earlier. Cha, just cause you're sleeping in my room doesn't mean you can get too comfortable. Humph. There was a hint of playfulness to Bakugo's voice and Deku felt himself subconsciously grinning as he watched him go and put on a shirt. What's that face for? I dunno, I'm enjoying myself. All you've done this morning is bleed all over my floor. That's fun to you? He's teasing. No, I mean just talking with you like we're friends. We're not. Well, I'll still be a better hero than you, nerd. Now shut up and let's make some breakfast. Huff. Lead the way. End of part 1. Wow, you guys, OMG. I'm actually back, can you believe it? I beg of you to please bear with me while I try and get back into the flow of this whole thing. I've totally forgotten my usual system of doing things, and even while writing this I'm not sure if this video is way longer than average or shorter or just right. I have no idea. Either way, I really hope you guys enjoyed this part 1. I struggled a lot while writing this because I kept feeling like it wasn't interesting or chaotic enough, but I personally just prefer a more chilled out, slightly realistic story. Plus this is just a setup for future parts, you know? While I'm rambling, it'll probably take me a while to really get back into the swing of things, but I'm trying my best. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you millions.